I'm Janice Marcusick, and I'd like to welcome you to the community of Cedar Ridge in Annapolis, Maryland. The community of Cedar Ridge was built in 1974. The community was built prior to any stormwater management requirements in the state of Maryland. At that time, the whole stormwater management philosophy was collect and convey, get it off of people's yards, get it off of the streets, get it into a storm drain, and get it out to the streams and ultimately to the Chesapeake Bay. 40 some odd years later, we found ourselves in a beautiful community, a beautiful townhome community with lovely green alleys, which is community space between our buildings, our townhome buildings. And these green alleys are used by everyone who lives here for multiple reasons, including walking their dog, the kids play back here, and it's the conduit for taking your trash cans to the curb every week for the trash pickup. We also found out that we have a lot more rain that has come in the last several years, and we've got a lot more runoff. People are trampling the grass is worn down, the trees are growing and creating more shade so the grass doesn't respond every year as it did before, and we're finding a lot more erosion is occurring, and there's a lot more sediment that's ending up in the storm drain system. And so we took a good hard look at our green alleys and decided that we probably should do something about this. We quickly found out that doing something like this was not something a homeowners association could take on its own. So in conjunction with one of our partners, which was the Back Creek Conservancy, we worked on a project to address stormwater management in Cedar Ridge. Doing the project on this property not only served the community of Cedar Ridge, but it also served Back Creek Conservancy in that it helped them implement their watershed management plan for Back Creek because we're in the Back Creek watershed.
So I was the contractor for this project, and we came in here to a site that was grass, a lot of dirt, really rocky, and generally kind of left to be this common space that wasn't really taken ownership to. And so what we had to do was come in and remove a lot of that soil, be able to get the actual ground here able to be planted, let water infiltrate through. We came in and tilled a lot of the soil. We brought in good organics. We also found that there were a ton of utilities running through here, probably a total of 30 lines. And the only way to really prep the ground was to actually expose all of those utilities, dig them all out, set them aside, and then be able to till the ground because we didn't want to hit anything as we went through. And in doing that, we were able to actually reshape the grade and really make sure that water is traveling in the right direction. We never had any real backup areas where we didn't want to have backup areas, and everything is able to go into the planted spaces and then be captured by that root zone.
I'm Vernon Husted. I'm president of Husted Landscape Architecture. One of the things my firm focuses on is low-impact development projects such as Cedar Ridge. Was partnered with Back Creek Watershed and met Janice, who was an awesome client to work with. We were initially talking about the stormwater management area right in here, but she quickly said, one of the problems that we were having was this was just dirt, it was mud, it was washing down, and any chance I get an opportunity to remove grass and put plants in there, I'm going to take it. And Janice encouraged us to look at planting the whole entire thing. So we started with the rain garden, and then we looked at conservation landscaping between the townhouses. And then as we got to the other end where the pool is, where everyone comes to go swimming in the summertime, there was an opportunity along one side to add pollinator gardens, and we thought that would be great just because it would be so visible. It's not only the impervious area that we're treating, but also the roofs from the adjacent townhouses have roof leaders that drain out and the water comes here, so it's kind of like a funnel. So we tried to add some stone here to sort of break the velocity of the water and spread the water out, and then the plants here would also take up some of the water, especially as they grow further and become more mature. This works as a stormwater management train where the water is traveling through the pollinator garden, through the conservation landscaping area, and then eventually down to the bioretention area itself.
So the bioretention area that's over on the far side of this project where all the water drains to used to be a traditional curb and gutter inlet. So it was actually 2 parking spaces that we removed. All of the gravel underneath, all the compacted soil underneath we had to remove and create an infiltration area within there. So we went down about 2 feet, added a layer of gravel 57 stone, added pea gravel on top of that, had an actual drainage pipe with perforations with holes in it below that to be able to capture any of the water that came down. And then above that we had a layer of sand and a layer of planting soil and then our plants and mulch. And so the idea is we have about 2 feet of void space area where the water can percolate down into all of the root zone, the plants that can pull up that water as well. And then if it ever does get inundated, there's still the traditional stormwater inlet at the top of that, but it's kind of a, last worst case scenario on a big storm.
What you're seeing today is the end of year 3 of the growth process. And as I've been told by a couple landscape designers, including Vernon himself, the first year, most of the plants are sleeping. The second year, they're starting to creep, get their roots settled. And the third year, they're leaping. And we're seeing that as we go through the growth process year after year, we're having to do less and less maintenance. Everyone in this community thinks that the design, the aesthetics of this conservation alley, the pollinator garden that's at the end of the alley, plus the bioretention area is absolutely fantastic. All year long, it is beautiful. Even in the winter, it's beautiful. And the response from the residents has been nothing but, I love it. I love walking through here. When I do my walks in the morning, I make sure I take the cut through this alley and I slow down and just take my time and enjoy how beautiful this is. And other members of the community, other residents of the community think this is so lovely. They want something exactly the same in their backyard so that they don't have to come all the way over here to enjoy it. From outside the community, we've had people from other areas within the city that have enjoyed coming here. They know about this. They know about it through the Watershed Stewards Academy tours. They know about it through word of mouth, and they've come and they've talked with us and have wanted ideas for how they can implement a project similar to this in their community.